Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Good news, Premier League football is back this weekend.
Thank God.
After what feels like a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the sack race. We're going to be discussing 3 managers who could be losing their job. We're just going to, see who we think is next to the chopping block. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to touch on Postecoglou quickly, because there's been word that he's fallen out of quite a few players in the team.
Yep, if you haven't checked out our previous video as well, it's above me right now, so just have a click on that.
So that's why we'll go into full detail.
Yep.
Kieran McKenna, I don't think he's going to get sacked.
No, I mean, either he's solid, and Ipswich shouldn't even be here. Do you know what I mean? So...
I'm pretty sure Ed Sheeran's a reasonable guy. So they knew they was up against it, and he's doing quite well.
Exactly.
So we're going to start off with my club, West Ham, and Julen Lopetegui.
Yeah.
Not a great start for us.
No, it's not.
3 wins from 11 games, including a 3-0 against Forest, and we didn't register a shot on target.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good, is it?
It's not great.
Yeah, you conceded, I think, 22 goals in 10 games as well.
Yeah, it's
crazy. It's not good, but... Yeah, I mean, wherever he's gone, Lopetegui as well, he's had investment in the Premier League I'm talking about, and he hasn't performed. Like, look at Wolves, they had a load of investment, and he just never really cut it at Wolves. Comes to West Ham, same sort of scenario, gets backed by the board, and he's falling short again.
120 million on
There we go, yeah.
I mean, he bought a £30 million striker, doesn't even start him.
That's it, yeah. That does leave question marks if to say, was it his man that he wanted? Because he doesn't seem like a Lopetegui sort of signing to me. But
I mean, to be fair, West Ham have a history of getting like big target strikers and just misusing them. You think of Haller, Arnautovic.
Yeah.
I could go on for days about the strikers. But, we've got the same amount of wins as San Marino since the start of September.
Jesus Christ.
Considering we were European champions at one point, it's not looking good.
That's it.
And, last couple of games, Lopetegui's really showing his frustration.
Yeah.
And I think it could go the same way as Antonio Conte at Spurs. He'll just explode and just quit.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of
he's not sacked.
Speaking of Spurs, like, you lost 4-1 to them.
Yeah.
You lost 3-0 to Forest.
Yeah.
You even drew with Everton at home.
That really sums up the levels that we're at.
Yeah, you've got to be beating them.
I mean, I know Pickford had a blinder.
Yeah.
But we should be beating Everton.
Yeah.
Should be laying a marker down.
Definitely.
I mean, I can see why we hired him though. He's got good European experience. He managed Real Madrid. He won a few Europa Leagues. So he wanted to get back up to that level.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
It was an upgrade on paper from Moyes.
Yeah.
But we can't go back to him if we are to get rid of him.
We've got to get rid quick, to be honest.
You think?
Yeah, I feel like waiting until January could make it worse. It could make it harder for the guy coming in. And you never know, like, the people who are free now might not be free in January. Other clubs might pull the trigger on them, and you're stuck with someone who's wasn't your top target basically as a manager. So I think they should pull the trigger quickly and sack him, to be honest, in my opinion.
I mean, we can talk about potential replacements as we're going to do with the other clubs.
Yep.
I've got 3 down here. We've got Edin Terzic, the former Dortmund manager. Yep. He's free. Obviously, he worked with Fulkrug, so he knows how to get the best out of him. Yep. Coached in a Champions League final against Real Madrid.
Got Dortmund there somehow.
Exactly. Roberto De Zerbi.
Yeah.
Fallout at Marseille, apparently, according to the media.
Yeah.
And he got Brighton playing some brilliant stuff, got them into Europe.
He did.
And I think on paper, I know I'm probably going to get comments coming at me, I think we're a better team than Brighton. On paper, I think we're better.
Yeah. I think they got a better system than you, but man for man, I think
man for man, we're better.
Yeah.
And this one is extremely punchy, but I thought because he's a free manager, according to everything I've read, I've gone with Allegri. It's probably a little bit punchy.
I couldn't see it, to be fair. I couldn't see Allegri. It's a good suggestion, but I couldn't see it.
I mean, you've got to aim high, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
But the most realistic I can see happening there is Terzic, personally. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Right, so after that, who do you think you'd get in at West Ham?
I'd have Graham Potter, to be honest. Yeah, proven in the Prem, done bits with Brighton, got the likes of Basuma, McAllister, other players like that, just performing to the top levels and gets that big move, and that's what he does, and proven in the Prem. I think he was unlucky with Chelsea, going into a Chelsea team that was in crisis, getting 50 new players in, 50 players out,
that was a bit of a mess.
It is, and it's so hard for a manager of that experience to go in there and make a mark. Like, even Pochettino can do it, and he's got so much more pedigree than Potter, but yeah, I feel like Potter will be a good manager to sort of get back on the ladder because, he's been away for a while now.
I think he was waiting for the England job, to be honest.
Yeah.
And of course, he didn't get it. Tuchel's got it. On to Wolves and Gary O'Neill. Only one win so far this season.
Yep.
To be fair, it was against relegation rival Southampton, but it's still not good. I mean, big losses against Chelsea and Brentford, 6-2 and 5-3 respectively.
Yeah.
27% win percentage.
Yeah.
And every time I've watched them or watched the highlights, there's a chance of you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think they've had a tough start. I feel like he's a good manager, but they've had a really, really tough start. Yeah, they've had the likes of Forest, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, all in them 10, 11 games. And it's when you're losing players, your best players like Pedro Neto and Max Kilman at the start of the season, that you can't expect him to keep, getting them up the table. If he's getting these resources just constantly drained every start of the season, and they're replacing them with players who are not experienced in the Prem. You're getting rid of them players. You can't expect them to be at them same levels, and that's what's happening. They're getting caught out by the big teams because they haven't got the players to compete with them. So I feel like he needs to be backed in January because he's proven what he can do at Bournemouth and at Wolves last season. And I just feel like they've had a tough start due to fixtures, but he can be the man to get them out of it. Look at Bournemouth. He's done it at Bournemouth when the odds seemed stacked against him.
Yeah, I mean, talking about their games, their next 5 fixtures aren't the worst.
Yeah.
They've got Fulham coming up this weekend. They've then got Bournemouth, Everton, us and Ipswich.
Yeah, maybe they make a judgment after them games, because if you don't win, they're the ones you should be winning. Do you know what I mean? And them past 10 games haven't. They are unbeaten in their last 3 games as well, Wolves. So they've been sort of on an upturn. It's not great, but it's getting better. And I feel like the players are gelling slowly, but it's going to take time.
So for potential replacements, if they were to pull the trigger on Gary O'Neill, I've gone David Moyes. Yeah, because he can do well with poor resources. He's done it with a few seasons with us before we
pulled the trigger,
and we got better. I mean, you see the teams we had under him; they were shambolic.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard, because he's English, he'll get mentioned. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't think of anyone else.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't have a replacement Gary O'Neill. I think he should stay. So I didn't have any replacements for Gary O'Neill, but. Again, I can see that Coençao, the Porto manager.
Yeah, I've got him down as well.
Yeah, obviously he's Portuguese. Wolves are a Portuguese man, didn't they?
That's the only reason I put him in.
Yeah, he just slots in perfectly, doesn't he? But he's a good manager. Managed Porto, high level Champions League. He's got the experience. So pull the trigger if you were Wolves.
Personally, seeing those fixtures and what we've spoke about them being unbeaten in the last 3, I'd have a little bit more patience.
Yeah, give them 5 games. 5 more games,
4 or 5 more games, and
that's
then
fair enough.
Make a decision then.
Yeah.
Right, on to Crystal Palace, the Eagles, and Oliver Glasner. Poor start to the season, considering the way they finished off last season. Their last 7 games, they won 6, ending the season in 10th.
That's it, yeah. Finishing
above the likes of Brentford and Brighton. It just seems to have gone all flat at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a fan about it on a podcast, and they're saying that last season they were playing really good counter-attacking football. Sorry, so they'd sit back and then hit teams on the counter with with pace, power, balls into the box. But now it just seems it's more defensive and no counter. There's no sort of link-up play from the defence to the attack anymore. And that begs the question: how important was Elise in that team? Because now he's gone. It seems like it's left a massive hole in terms of linking up the play and, sort of getting Palace going in games. So
I want to talk about their transfers just quickly. I won't go in full detail.
Yeah.
But one signing I didn't really, well, not signing, but someone I got rid of.
Yeah.
That I didn't really agree with because of his performances for them is Julen.
Yeah. Underrated.
He's not obviously world class. He's not going to get you 20 goals a season.
No.
But he's done the job.
100%.
And then to replace him with Eddie Nketiah, who is not proven in the Premier League, he's never scored a double-digit season.
That's it. Yeah.
Is that really the man to replace a consistent performer?
And the amount they paid for him as well. They overpaid. I think it's 30 million or 25 million.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, getting rid of Ayew and Edouard, 2 of your forwards, to a relegation rival in Leicester.
Yeah.
It's not the best business.
It's not. It's not. No, you're right. We bang on with that, to be fair.
I mean, obviously, I got rid of Joaquin Anderson as well.
Massive loss. I was going to go into that. That is a massive loss, and you're selling to sort of a rival in terms of where they're going to. Where they're going to be in the end of the season. Usually, Palace are in about the mid-table range, and so are Fulham. So why would you then go and sell your best centre back to them and then replace him with, I think it was Chadi Riyad from Barcelona?
They've got 3 centre backs in to replace him, which says a lot. They might turn it on after the international break. Let me just have a look at their fixtures.
Yeah.
Their next 5 fixtures, I mean, it's not the hardest, but it's also not the easiest.
Yeah.
So they've got Aston Villa,
Yeah.
Newcastle, Ipswich, Man City and Brighton.
They're tough games, to be fair. You've got one or two that possible, but they are tough games. They're tough games. Villa, is it Villa you say away?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Newcastle at home, again, tough. Ipswich away, they're starting to look better, Ipswich now, especially that winning over Spurs. So they're tricky again. And that's why I think I'd sack him, to be honest.
Really? You'd sack Glasner?
I'd sack Glasner, yeah.
Who would you have to replace him?
To replace him, I'd have Daniele De Rossi.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, former Roma coach. He done really well at Roma, to be fair. He won 14 games out of 30 in Serie A. Only lost, I think, 7 as well. So losing 7 games in 30 at Roma. And look at Roma now. You know, they're sort of mid-table now.
And now I'm their like 3rd manager in the
That's
season.
it, yeah. And he was just solid at Roma and sort of underrated. And it sort of reminds me of a sort of De Zerbi appointment from Brighton. You know, getting a young Italian manager in from the Serie A. De Zerbi earned his merit at Sassuolo. Now De Rossi sort of earned his merit at Roma. And I feel like it'd suit it, you know. He plays a sort of form, like 3-5-2 at Roma, and I could definitely see that happening. You've got like some Mitchell Muniz on the right, I think, right back. Munoz, sorry, on the right. They love bombing forward. They love crossing the balls in. You've got like some, you got Mateta. You got, it sort of gets Eze as well involved in the sort of attacking sort of frame. But yeah, I just feel like he's more of a motivational coach as well. So, especially the run they're in now, they need someone to give them that boost, you know what I mean? To give them that sort of pep talk that they need. And yeah, I feel like he could be a decent little appointment, to be honest. So.
Made a good case to be fair.
Yeah.
For De Rossi, but I've got 3 replacements down, obviously potential.
Yeah.
Got Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was going to put him for West Ham, but I didn't want to put him for everyone because that's just
that's fair enough. Yeah.
I've got Ruben Nistelrooy. We haven't mentioned him.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, he's linked with Coventry.
Yeah.
And of course, he's shown bits of his ability with Man United. Obviously, done well at PSV as well.
Yeah, very good.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, I think he won the FA Cup. I think it's called KNVB Cup. I think it's called. But
let us know what he won, but I know he done well with them.
Yeah.
And one that's gonna probably merit a little bit of not disgust, but a bit of weird looks. I've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
It's a good shout. I think he is underrated, to be fair. He gets sort of memed.
He gets overhated. Yeah. But with that Man United team that he had, there's always going to be expectations.
Yeah.
But he was seen as what I call the chill boss, like they could just get away with what they wanted because he was a friendly man.
Yeah.
But I think if you just take the expectations off him, put him into a lower standard of team. Sorry, Crystal Palace, but you're not Man United.
Yeah.
I think he could do something. Also, he finished 2nd at Man United team.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst.
Yeah.
He's not the worst manager.
And he's done it in Europe as well, like the famous PSG comeback. You know, he was playing a bunch of kids as well. I think Chong was on the pitch as well when he was like 17, and he sort of brought up from the youth and sort of gave him that feel-good factor and put it into the side. And look at like to Lingard as well. He thrived under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's just sort of, again, a sort of motivational guy that would sort of get everyone on side. Yeah, get everyone on side, and I feel like he'd be a good appointment, to be fair. It's a good shout.
So should we go on to Southampton, last but not least?
Yeah, go for it.
So they've got 9 losses out of 11.
Yeah.
Win over Everton, which was, big for them.
Yeah.
And 1-1 draw against Ipswich, which are obviously relegation rivals.
Yeah.
They bottled a 2-0 lead against Leicester.
That was kind of embarrassing, to be fair.
That was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good to watch as a neutral.
Great game.
Southampton
great
fan,
game.
you're probably in tears.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they haven't really got a high-level squad.
No, Championship squad.
Yeah, I mean, their best player, I'd probably say, is Ramsdale.
Yeah, he committed career suicide. I don't understand the move to. I know he supports them, but it's career suicide. Like they're not backing the manager in the transfer market. They're not getting the players in they need. Like why would you do that? You're going to be in the Championship next year. I feel like they should keep Russell Martin. Why not? Nothing's going to happen. I don't think if they bring in another manager. Like, they're still going to get relegated. So why not build that experience with Russell Martin? Get him another Championship season in, and he might improve. Might improve as a coach. Look at things differently. And learn from his mistakes that he's made this season with Southampton. So
I mean, they've done that a couple of seasons ago, didn't they? They had about 3 or 4 managers in.
Yeah.
That Ruben Selles, obviously, they went down under him.
Yeah.
And it was just going from bad to worse in that season. So I'm with you. I think they stick with Martin.
Yeah.
Because obviously you got them up playing a good brand of football.
Yeah.
But it's the Vincent Company problem. It's a good system.
Yeah.
But it's not suited for the Premier.
Hasn't got the players
for it.
Yeah, hasn't got the players.
I mean, aren't they like top 4 most errors leading to goals?
Yeah, they are top of the table in terms of that. Yeah, so at least they're top in one table. So yeah, keep Russell Martin, I think, for me.
Yeah. So we've gone with Russell Martin not getting sacked. With that, who do you think is the next to be sacked out of these managers we spoke about?
Julen Lopetegui.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, frustrating.
It's just the amount of backing that he's got as well, the amount of pressure. Like, they just won the Conference League not too long ago, and now you're coming in and you mid-table, lower mid-table, weren't you? Like 12th,
like
somewhere around there. Yeah, exactly, and
that
that ain't good enough. The amount of money you put into that. And West Ham, they're known for sort of pulling the trigger. You know, they pulled the trigger on Moyes once before. Obviously got him back in, but you know, they're not sort of shy of, you know, getting rid of their manager, Pellegrini as well. And yeah, I just don't think he's good enough. I think he's proven at Wolves not good enough, and he's proven again that he's not good enough. So why keep him? I feel.
So we're both going with Lopetegui getting sacked.
Yeah.
Right. So on that, guys, who do you think will get sacked next in the Prem? Who would you sack? Obviously, you said you'd sack Glasner.
Yeah, I'd sack Glasner and Lopetegui, but Lopetegui first.
Yeah, I'd sack Lopetegui. So
yeah.
Sorry, Julen, you got to go, mate. So anyway, let us know down in the comments below who you think is going to get sacked next and who should replace them if and when they're sacked.
Yep.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll catch you next one, guys. See you later.